your big Hollywood sunglasses and light the torch, because it's cellar time. Welcome to the Crack Cellar. As the prophecy was once recast by Lou Ferrigno, I'm Two-Spirit Penguin Daniel.
And I don't like Mark Ruffalo. Sorry, Broadcaster Nickels.
And today we have something real to talk about right now. You know, in life there are many accomplishments. Once you could have maybe a buck that you shoot down in its prime. It's trying to take a sweet drink of water, the creek, and then all of a sudden the bullet of Broadcaster Nickels pierces its skull and it becomes dinner. Then there's also accomplishments like the recent Platinum Rocket League tournament I just won. Which one's greater, Broadcaster Nickels? I leave that to you.
Well, your theoretical story of me getting a deer is definitely better. No doubt.
I take full credit.
You don't know how hard it is.
Did you get any shots off? What happened?
No, I didn't. None of us shot. In fact, I don't think we heard any shots close to us. Every shot we heard was like miles away, at least a mile away.
So you guys just never found anything, huh?
No, coincidentally, this first day, like the second hour or so, there was like a harem of 8 does, which is female deer, and one buck, and it was I don't know, it was probably about 400 meters away, maybe 300 meters. I'm not really good at distance right now. I'm pretty new, but 3-point in the area we were hunting is legal, and we weren't quite sure. And as soon as we were moving to get closer just to check it out, this fucking dumb shit just comes trottling down the hill, just oblivious to what he's doing, spooks the whole pack, and just goes. Anyways, that was all we saw that day. And the second day we saw another female doe and a fawn. That was it.
I see. Well, not as triumphant as I expected.
There's always next week.
So that Platinum Tournament Rocket League I won, first time ever, 2v2 tournament. And I get into this first round with this guy, right? And he is just the most toxic motherfucker I have ever been queued into with in Rocket League ever. In the history of me playing that game. He's like a League of Legends pug, you know what I mean? Like, that toxic. So the first match, he's like, God, you suck so much, man. God, you're a piece of shit. Why are you even playing the game? We win. Second match, he's like, oh, dude, you're just so bad. We win. Third game, he's like, you're so bad, dude, but for some reason you win. I don't get it. Fourth game, pure silence. He doesn't say a word the entire fourth round. Win. Fifth round, he's like, hey man, what rank are you? Win. Sixth round, he's like, dude, you're so effing good at this game. Seventh round, I think this is the final round, he's like, dude, please do not quit after the tournament. We need to do rank together. What rank are you? He just like started spamming me. It was one of the craziest things I've ever experienced in video games. Just like starting at like the pure absolute toxic, and then over a slow progression watching the guy become like someone who's subscribing to my OnlyFans.
All right.
I reported him.
For sexual harassment.
So the new Batman trailer, what are you thinking? You like it?
You know, or that diner lit up at the beginning, I was like, what is this fucking Batman runner? But it felt like a lot of the music, the tone, the grittiness, it felt a lot like Blade Runner to me. But
yeah,
Penguin isn't really the penguin that everyone knows. I don't know if that's going to be
he's Cobblepot
the movie,
right?
yeah, but he's not like. Man, where's the fish-eating little short fucking penguin-nosed guy with the top hat? You know,
Maybe
living in the
that's
sewers. What happened?
maybe that's the season finale. Him in a fucking sewer eating raw fish with Danny DeVito. Yeah,
Man.
yeah, I like the new trailer. It didn't really inspire me much for the Riddler. In fact, I came away kind of less excited about the Riddler, but more excited about Penguin, and a little bit more excited about Catwoman too. I like the Catwoman. It's like the second coming of Halle Berry.
I like Catwoman too.
One thing I noticed though is it seems like they're trying to actually do a comic appropriate adaptation here. Did you get that vibe?
Yeah, it looks like a year 1 or 2 like story for Batman.
Yeah, the vibes,
Like he's just starting out.
yeah, the vibes are really like remind me of kind of the same vibes I got from Sin City. Not like as viscerally, but it really felt like a comic book coming to life the way that Sin City did. Just at a lesser scale.
I really hope this this movie ends up connecting to Joker, because
I know that's the $1 million question, ain't it?
It needs to, man. It needs to, because
how much would you lose your shit if Joaquin Phoenix just shows up at the end? Special secret,
dude.
Total secret.
So good. And I don't even care how bad the movie is if it's out anyway. I just feel like I'm not vested in it at all, because
Twilight Boy.
Well, no, because he's actually become quite good at Lighthouse, man.
Yeah.
Lighthouse. Shout out to Lighthouse fans.
Yeah.
But it's not that. It's just I don't think the movie's going to go anywhere. It's going to be a standalone movie like the Joker was.
Well, if Joker really isn't connected to this, that means that we have 3 concurrently running Batman versions. We have the fucking Joker version, we have the Twilight version, and then we have the Flash version. The Justice League version. You know, it's just like, what's going on here? Like, you can't have 4 going at the same time and have none of them connected to each other. It just makes no sense to me. So I feel like they got to connect something here. Maybe not Joker, but they can't just silo this off completely. Or maybe they can. I don't know.
It looks like Joker's universe too.
It does.
Like everything, you know, it just, I don't know.
It does.
It has to be. I think they're gonna have to age Joaquin a little bit, or his Joker a little bit.
Oh, for
like
sure.
He's been around for a while or something, but still.
Just heavy makeup. Yeah, like I don't think they'd have to go too crazy. I don't think they have to do like prosthetics or anything. I think they just have to give him some you know what? They might just be able to use the CG at this point to make him look old, kind of like they did in Irishman. But the opposite.
I don't even think they would have to do much in the aging. It's just like wardrobe. Like he wouldn't be the red velvet suit with the yellow vest and with that makeup on it. It would be like him, but a new costume, to kind of signify that there's been a passage of time type of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Probably have a gang presence,
Yeah, so what do you think about Gollum being cast as Alfred? That one's throwing me off a little bit.
Well, it looks like he's a boxer, dude. It looks like, because he looks like he fucking has a scar on his eye or a wound on his eye in the trailer. So it's like he's doing some fighting, which is cool.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to see Alfred do mixed martial arts in the Batcave with Bruce.
Yeah, he definitely seems like he might be the most fit Alfred, other than the one from the Gotham TV series.
Yeah,
that
which is more reason why I think this is like, well, obviously just because of how young Bruce is.
Yeah,
but he looks. This is one of the rare instances where I think I like him as Batman, but not so much as Bruce visually. Every time I see him as Bruce in the trailer,
yeah, you see Twilight vampire. I get it. I do.
Well,
too.
it's not only that, but it's just his haircut in the way, like, I don't know, man. It just makes him look like a fucking dweeb.
Yeah,
I'm just like, that's not Bruce's look, dude.
He is the opposite of Batfleck. Like the literal opposite. Batfleck, he was a great Bruce Wayne. Horrible Batman. Now I think we might have the opposite here with Twilight Boy.
Can we get like a fucking... What do they call those earrings in Dragon Ball?
Now that would be a good one. Pataro? Something.
Yeah, I think it is the Pataro.
Yeah.
Pataro earrings.
What do you think about the Commissioner Gordon casting? I think that's one of the going to be one of the more controversial ones.
What's his name from Westworld?
Yep.
I don't give a fuck. That guy's a fucking great actor.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real here. Let me put a disclaimer out there.
He's a good actor.
The comic book fan part of me says, "Oh wow, another race swap, another gender bend, another fucking who cares? It's all fucking travesty. It's all dead." You know. But the optimistic side of me says that guy's a fucking amazing actor, and I don't think he's going to be a burden on the movie at all.
No, yeah, in terms of pure acting talent, he's probably in the upper echelon of that movie's cast,
no doubt.
But I don't know, man.
The movie has plenty of room to be woke, but if they're going to connect it to the Joker, that would be probably not the best option.
Well,
so
I've watched every DC movie that's come out, I think, in the last 6 years. Not a single one of them has been woke. So, half of them were bad, but none of them were woke. So, if they went woke now, it'd be kind of weird. Especially when you're seeing Marvel. I don't know if you noticed this, but they're going out of their way to say Shang-Chi is like this great success for Marvel. Like, they're just like going out of their way to be like, it's fucking 138 or 180 million. It's doing so great, blah, 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 in this post-pandemic world. And I'm just sitting here looking at it like, well, Fast and Furious 13 just made $1 billion, so I don't know what you're so proud of over there, Shang-Chi. Marvel's on a downturn, man. I don't think DC would be smart to copy the Marvel formula right now. In fact, I think they should stick to their guns, especially with what I'm seeing from Black Adam, but we'll save that for the preview.
God, MCU could have been such a better thing, dude.
I know.
Ultron could have came back by now. A couple times. We could have had James Wood. Multiple times, dude. Not James Woods, sorry.
I would have loved to see a James Woods Ultron. That would have been amazing.
You pole smoking fashion victims. Prepare to be dominated.
Holy shit, what a great fan casting.
Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of
James Spader.
James Spader, yeah, James
Daniel
Spader.
motherfucking Jackson.
But yeah, man, it's just a travesty. Those guys are losers. All of them over there. They're fucking eternal, diverse, woke casting. No one cares about that shit, dude. No one cares about Shang-Chi. No one cares about the Eternals. And no one's going to care about Captain Marvel 2 or any of that shit. Thor, probably going to be good. Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe. We'll see.
Well,
it matters how much they neuter it.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy is a weird one because you got James Gunn there, so you know it's going to be the same kind of movie as it was before. But how much of a leash is he on now? Suicide Squad was pretty out there. It didn't seem like they censored him much with that, but I feel like that could change at any moment.
Yeah. I think it just blew their load. They blew their load way too quickly and they wasted it on certain things, think about the cadence of their releases after the Iron Man 3 era. Yeah. They went through Iron Man 1 through 3 like it was crazy, and 2 of those stories were just nonsense. Well, then after all that, everything was like, oh, the next story is going to be after these 3 movies, and all the roadmaps started happening. The fucking roadmaps.
Yeah. I know, I wish we could have seen a version of the MCU where they took their time and instead of making like 4 trash movies and 1 good one, they'd go with just like 2 really amazing ones, like on the, level of original Iron Man. But they just started churning that shit out, man. I know, like, it hit me right when Civil War came out. That's when it really hit me what was going on with the MCU. And
seeing all those characters that no one gave a fuck about running at each other.
Yeah, it's like
Spider-Man, guys.
It's like this show I watched called Money Heist, where instead of robbing the bank, they take the bank hostage and then they start printing their own money. That's kind of what Disney/Marvel did with the MCU. They could have robbed the bank and been home free, and they got greedy and decided to fucking start printing their own money. And they didn't realize is that there's inflation. When you start printing your own money, it becomes less valuable.
What you just said right there about the stealing the bank and printing money, that's like Sigma male grind set 101 right there.
So less excited for Batman, more excited for Batman based on the trailer. Did it move you in either direction?
Oh, I'm definitely going to watch it with enthusiasm.
I just mean before the trailer. Like, did it negatively or positively impact your desire to watch it?
I'd say positive. Okay. It told me it was happening. Yeah. And there was the material. Like, before when I heard everyone didn't like the movie and people were mad about it, I was like, oh God, this movie's going to look like shit. But the trailer looks awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, if the movie keeps the same energy as the trailer, dude, I think it's going to be a banger. And I'm hoping it's connected to the Joker, which is going to make it, dude, if they end that with it, like Joaquin's laugh or something like that, or dude, think about this for a second. I think this
credit scenes are usually uncredited, right? Like that's the whole point of them. So yeah, I expect a post-credit scene.
Think about, remember how the trash riots were going on in Joker?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be cool at the end of the Batman or something? He's like, the Batman's just on his Vista or something like that, and he's looking down to like the road that connects to it or whatever, and it just like the camera slowly goes in towards the garbage truck, and it's just the Joaquin fucking as a trash man picking up trash, just smoking a cigarette, and he just looks up at the manor. Fucking, yes. I think there's shit like that would flip people out.
Yeah. All right, yeah, I agree. Positive, not much more positive, but a little blip up, I guess. The Penguin part really has me intrigued. Not even the way he looks as much. The voice he's doing is very interesting. Kind of reminds me of like if they mixed Falcone with Penguin. Kind of gave him more of a mobster thing going.
That's what, honestly, when I first saw him, I thought it was Falcone.
Yeah.
But Falcone's always been a little bit more suave and some burn victim looking motherfucker. The thing about Colin Farrell's Penguin is it looks like he spent too much time in the sewer. Like he got bloated. Like he's a skinny guy, but he just absorbed too much water.
Yeah. All right, Broadcaster Nickels. Speaking of things that spent too much time in the water, are you ready to get to our preview of Black Adam?
Indeed.
What's that? You want more Crack Cellar? This is good. Join your lords on Twitter at The Crack Cellar and Facebook.com/The Crack Cellar.
Hey, you over there. Are you a straight-up Chad or a strong woman? Well, you can find us on Apple Podcasts and your favorite podcasting app. Or, if you're a straight-up beta cuck, find us on YouTube with the rest of the Cloud Chasers. And we're back with the most electrifying preview in sports entertainment of DC's Black Adam. Broadcaster Nickels. What a Black Adam he is.
Thank you.
What do you think?
I always like to be considered a 6 foot whatever fucking 350-pound gorilla. You know. I'm glad I bring that mindset to the party.
How many people's eyebrows do you think we're going to get in this movie?
Eyebrows? Probably none.
No,
because fucking industries like that now.
Hell no. There's at least going to be one people's eyebrow.
Are you asking Hollywood to give people what they want? Rock probably has it probably in his contract that he doesn't have to do any of that shit.
So what do you know about Black Adam? Did you read any of the comics? Do you have any knowledge of the backstory or the source material?
Not really. I know a little bit about Shazam, which is where Black Adam came from. Like, he's the nemesis to Shazam originally. And, like, there's this wizard named Shazam or something like that. And he's made up of, like, some ancient gods. They all, like, Shazam, I think the Warlock, Shazam's an acronym or something, or the Warlock. His name is an acronym. I forget how it goes, but it's very limited.
Yeah. All right. Same here. So we'll be talking about this sort of from like a blind perspective then, I guess. So let's jump to the real question that matters. How many WWE cameos will there be in this movie? What do you think? Think we're going to get some Chris Jericho?
Dude, we need to give The Undertaker another shot, okay?
What, you didn't like the Escape from Undertaker Netflix movie?
It's a tragedy.
That was one of the cheesiest things I've ever seen. Did you watch that?
No.
Oh my god, it is one of the cheesiest things I've ever seen in my life. I felt
kind of an emotional pull on like old wrestling fans.
What's crazy is it was really clearly made for like tweenagers, but all of the people that give a fuck about Undertaker are like in their 30s and 40s, so it makes no sense. Like, it's one of those products, it's like, who are you making this for? It reminded me of like a Choose Your Own Adventure Goosebumps book, and not in a good way. But yeah, I think
the real question is, real question is, will he have hair?
Oh shit! Give him the fro.
Nah, dude, he's gonna have that slick back Guido look. That's how Black Adam looks. He just has jet black slicked back hair.
There's no way, dude. If they put a wig on fucking Rock, that would
dude,
be
it wouldn't
so
be.
funny.
Are you kidding me, dude? It wouldn't be a wig. It'd be the most fucking surgically precise fucking temporary implanted hair,
bespoke
in the world.
Hair plugs.
Yeah, it'd probably cost Hollywood like probably $100,000 a day to do his hair for the shooting. Some absurd amount of money. I'm not sure.
The Rock's like, I actually like this. I'm gonna make this permanent.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if hair plugs can go. He can go back. I don't think he has any hair on his head.
You know, it's real funny, man. When I was a kid, there was a wrestler that acted. His name was Hollywood Hulk Hogan. He personified the popularity of wrestling. When I was growing up, he was the wrestler. It was him and Macho Man Randy Savage.
I was about to say, excuse me, bite your tongue.
Basically, he was the most popular wrestler on the planet when I was growing up. And he was in movies. He did a lot of movies. But here's the thing. He did like D movies. Like, we're talking about like made for the USA Network type movies. Like, that's the style. That's all he could get. And he was the most popular wrestler in the world, right? The Rock is not the most popular wrestler in the world. John Cena is not the most popular wrestler in the world. And they both are like the biggest action stars on the planet. They make as much money as Tom Cruise. What the fuck happened, Broadcaster Nickels? Like, what crazy world line did we cross to get us here?
The one with a red honking, squeaky nose on it.
It's crazy. And then we got like fucking Ronan Dex from Stargate Atlantis is number 3. Like, what the fuck happened? We've crossed into the Twilight Zone, man.
Yeah, no, dude. Jason Momoa is playing Duncan, Idaho. It's wild,
Weird.
wild times out there. Wild times out there.
That is a weird cat. Like when you compare like Duncan, Idaho from the original movie to this Duncan, Idaho, it's like who put PCP in the crack pipe? Like,
Yeah.
what
I mean, I can get behind it, but what the fuck is going on?
Oh my god! What a way! What a time to be alive, Broadcaster Nickels. So
It's like one of the few times I've seen a character where, like, the woke times, I'm like, wow, you're really on the up. You know, Duncan, you're on the up. Other characters, they're becoming pale and emaciated like fucking soy boys and shit like that. And he's Duncan over here.
yeah, I think Dennis Villanueva put like some weird like witchcraft hex protection spell on Dune because that movie felt like it was destined to fail from the very beginning, but it just seems to have this upward trajectory that doesn't make logical sense to the point where I'm now hearing reports that it's going to be like one of the greatest movies of all time. That's what I'm hearing from people that have seen footage of it.
That's what I'm talking about. Modern day Lord of the Rings, dude. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm really hoping for. Like that OG Peter Jackson, like just. Do you remember when the Lord of the Rings first came out, dude?
Fuck yeah.
Dude, like that was a real movie experience. And I'm hoping that's what Dennis is doing with Dune.
I think so, because Dennis is a fan of the original books, and as you know, I am sure the first movie made by our boy David Lynch was only covering like the first half of the first book, I think. I don't even think it was the whole first book it covered.
No way.
I think so, man. I think that you could make this into a trilogy in your sleep. Easily.
Oh, no doubt. You could do way more with it.
Yeah, you probably do a sextuplet, but I mean, trilogy to start for sure. But getting back to the people's champion over in Black Adamville, Broadcaster Nickels, what did you think about the fatality right at the beginning? Like right when they summon him, the dude does a fucking MK fatality, and we see a little gore, not a lot, but if you pay attention to that, there is some red flesh falling off those bones. It wasn't your typical Disney fucking G-rated action sequence.
Good. All I gotta say is keep it going. Maybe Black Adam will be part of the Black Label. Oof.
This whole Black Label
is the Rock
thing.
Black? Are we in trouble?
We are definitely in trouble if we don't respect the people's elbow.
Can you smell what the black man is cooking?
You gotta get the Nation of Domination in his cameo. Make him like some street thugs. Get X-Pac back.
Oh, God, dude.
I want to see some really deep cut wrestling cameos in this movie. I don't know why. I like want to see like the first guy The Rock beat, like when he entered the ring in 1995. I don't even remember who it was. Just give that man a cameo.
You know what would be dope is like if they did get all those fuckers and they like made them like an elite soldier squad that go after Black Adam. And he takes them all out, you know? And we get like 7 or 8 fucking OG wrestling fighter scenes. That'd be dope.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you ever play the old WWF arcade game where like the wrestlers were like basically they used magic, like the Undertaker shot souls at people?
Yeah. I didn't play it much, but yeah.
I'm hoping that the action in Black Adam is similar to that. I want to see some like really
pretty low expectations. Okay.
I don't know. Like I want him to play into like the novelty of The Rock being Black Adam and not make it too serious. I have a weird feeling they're going to make this really serious, and I'm hoping they don't do that because Shazam wasn't very serious, and clearly Black Adam is supposed to set up another Shazam movie with The Rock as the villain, right? Like, that's what you would think. Maybe not, though. Maybe you're right. Maybe this is Black Label, and it's going to have no interaction with Shazam, which would be super weird if it's true.
I mean, who fucking cares, really? You know, it really does.
Shit.
At the end of the day, you know, when I'm coming to these movies nowadays, I'm just like, well, you know, who they trying to appeal to? You know, clearly they don't know. I fucking don't know. I know The Rock's a good actor. I know 90% of the probably way more than 90% of the people going to watch this movie will not know who the fuck Black Adam is, and we'll probably have to do that. What is Black Adam? Google search that will autofill on their phone.
Yeah.
And they'll go into the movie like that, you know, and I just
Vox.com.
It's just not
why
that's
Black
not
Adam
what
is the most important thing to come out this year.
Yeah. Who knows though? It could be like the Rejuvenation. It could be like Iron Man 1, you know, for DC. Well, I think that was Joker to be honest,
man.
but you know, if I'm being real, I think that was Joker, but
yeah, I think that was Joker. I'm not getting Iron Man 1 vibes from this trailer.
No, you'll never get Iron Man 1 vibes again. Ever again.
That movie was just too real in too many ways.
Listen, dude, when you see Robert Downey Jr. fucking with the shit beat out of him, drinking and eating a donut, looking at the sunrise for the first time. It's a good movie. Solid movie, kids. I don't know where I was going with that, but go watch it.
Where you're going is if Jon Favreau is involved, you should probably watch it.
Yeah, no shit.
And that includes swingers, boys and girls.
People sleep on swingers.
All right. Well, what's your overall like? How excited are you on a scale of 1 to 10 for Black Adam? You're thinking real hard.
Yeah. I mean, am I even excited?
Oh wow! Damn.
Dude, comic movies, I'll be honest, like they're just going nowhere now. It's like I've actually read these comics and I'm just like watching the movies. I'm like, all right, that's not based on it. It's like this is just gonna be another world for the WB to fucking start. You know, we got 3 Batmans. Where I'm probably by the end of this movie, we're going to be still wondering if this Black Adam's in the Shazam universe, or at least the Shazam universe you watched months ago. You know, How can you be excited for that type of shit? They got a bad record, is what I'm saying.
Shazam wasn't a bad movie, but it was a kid's movie.
They got a bad rap sheet. Joker was a diamond in the rough, but until they get another diamond going, well, you know, they're still dogging it.
I'm dogging it, Loz.
And to be honest, if I'm being real, we have gotten barely anything as far as content goes for Black Adam for quite some time. And it was announced when? 2 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
That's not good. That tells me unannounced writers have come and gone and scripts have been rewritten. Probably certain actors have like held the movie hostage or whatever. Who knows what's going on over there? But the fact that all we've gotten is The Rock turning his head in a fucking hood and him levitating upwards, which, to be honest, didn't look that great. The CGI for the disintegration looked great.
Yeah.
But him flying upward wasn't like, I mean, it was so close up. It just seemed like low budget. It was just like, this is all they could give us.
Yeah,
So.
It's kind of weird how CG has sort of become nebulous now. Like there used to be like clear distinction lines between low budget, mid budget, high budget CG, but CG is so cheap and so good generally now that it's all sort of starting to look the same, and it's really subtle. Like good CG from bad, the difference is becoming really subtle.
Yeah.
But there's more than that teaser out there. There's like a first look video as well that I watched, which did you see that?
A story of him narrating.
Well, it had it has Pierce Brosnan in it, like talking about, like, I guess Pierce Brosnan is like the villain of the movie or something to that effect. I don't know exactly, but he's in it. Looking real old, James Bond is, looking like a real Sean Connery nowadays.
Isn't that weird that they're introducing Black Adam a villain slash antagonist as with his own movie with his own villain.
It is a little weird. I don't
Like,
quite
what is
get
that?
it. It's just like Joker, man. Like it's like Joker's the villain and the protagonist, I guess. And like in the terms of Joker, the movie, who's the fucking antagonist? I guess it's Robert De Niro, the fucking talk show host. Like, I guess you could say that commissioner guy. I forget whoever that guy was who was like the politician that he hated or whatever. But they don't even really interact. Like it's not really. It seems like they're going for that again. It almost feels like Joker came out and The Rock watched it and he just called up DC. He's like, let me do Black Adam. You're doing villain movies now. I want to do it. Like, it seems impossible to me that it came up organically. It feels like The Rock had to be a fan and just instigate it himself. Otherwise, why would they even think to do this? No one knows who Black Adam is. Very obscure.
See, that's maybe you're getting close to the $1 million question of like why Black Adam? Why a villain connected to a character that isn't your favorite, didn't do the best with his own movie, no plan going forward with that character. It's like there's no. When you're looking at like this chart and you're trying to connect the dots, it's hard to connect the dots with WB. It looks autistic, it's just only the key maker can put this puzzle together.
Yeah, it feels like they're going the flat cannon route. If for the Unreal Tournament fans out there, getting a real spread shot,
getting a real fucking spread shot.
Yeah. But we'll see, man. Like, Joker came out of nowhere. Maybe Black Adam will be half as good as Joker. That would be good. Like, if it, to me, like that'd make it a win in my book if they could just get it half as good as Joker. But my guess is it's going to be schlocky and a downturn. Some of the footage I saw in the
just be trash.
Well, they showed a spaceship at a certain point in some of the footage I saw, and the spaceship looked like worse than the spaceships from Stargate SG-1. And that was like a low budget sci-fi show from the early 2000s. So that by itself, I look at that, I'm like, man, if your whole movie is going to be like that, if you just take that and extrapolate it across the board, you can kind of see where we're going with it. But we'll see. You never answered the question, though. 1 to 10, how excited are you for Black Adam?
4.
Ooh, a 4. I'm going to say 5, and that's only if Vince McMahon shows up.
How dare you go on above?
If, like, out of nowhere, like, Black Adam like encounters some like Wall Street executive and murders him and it's played by Vince McMahon, I will stand up and start clapping. That being said, Broadcaster Nickels, there's a disturbance in the Force and it's coming straight from Japan. Are you ready to review the vision of Star Wars?
I am.
And we're back with our review of Star Wars Visions. And this small collection of animated short films is described as the following. Through the lens of the world's best anime creators, offers a new, diverse perspective on Star Wars.
Are you doing a Chinese American accent right now?
Broadcaster Nickels, I would never do anything like that. As you know, I'm an anti-racist. I'm like that guy from G4 TV, Adam Sessler. Me and him we're Antifa
Are you
bros.
sure?
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I saw Adam at the super racist meeting the other
day. So Broadcaster Nickels, what we have here is 9 anime episodes essentially that are all short. Like none of them are longer than 20 minutes.
Anthology.
A couple of them are 10 minutes. Very weird, very disjointed. None of them are made by the same person. All totally different in animation style, tone, everything. The one thing that these all have in common is lightsabers. Apparently the Japanese are very obsessed with the Jedi part of Star Wars, because that is the common thread. Every fucking one was essentially boiled down to some lightsabers.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's the Japanese. They're like, what is the thing that makes Star Wars Star Wars? The Force and the lightsabers.
I guess. I mean,
It's true.
I
Those are
like
the two
those
things that is that construct. Those are the two sides of the coin, right?
I always looked at the Force and lightsabers and Jedi versus Sith as like a third of what Star Wars is, not 90%, which you'd think from these anime versions. But yeah. I don't know. I guess let's just go through.
Some of them get it right. Some of them get it right. A lot of them get it wrong.
Yeah, let's go through them chronologically. First one is the duel. This was a really weird one to start on because it's black and white, and I was really kind of surprised they went with this one as the first, because you're going to turn a lot of normie Star Wars fans off with this shit. Like, go with a color episode that has inviting animation style for your first episode. Think of how many Star Wars normies turned the first episode on as like, what is this shit? Click. It looked like a comic book come to life from the 1930s. Like, that's the vibe it had. Like, it just totally like was out there.
Yeah. Well, I think, I mean, I'm trying to think of like what he's actually done, but I don't think I think this guy actually was a nobody. I think this, well, I don't want to say nobody, but I think this is like the biggest thing he's done.
Yeah.
As far as anime work goes.
A couple
Which
of
is
them...
kind of weird, because what you pointed out when I saw it initially, I was like, oh shit, this must be like an old school animator, like doing some like crazy old school shit. It didn't make sense.
Well, this guy is a nobody, but I remember there's one very specific thing he did that me and you both are very familiar with. And that is, he did the animation for Mega Man X Command Mission. He animated Ale.
No, he didn't.
He did, dude. He fucking did. I'm not kidding you. That's all he's done, though, basically. Like, if you look at all his other... He hasn't done shit other than that, so... I don't know how he got
Where did they get these people? His name's Kamikaze. I mean...
No, the duel was made by Takanobu Mizuno.
No, that's directed. I'm talking about the animator.
Oh yeah, so I was going off the director. I didn't look up the animators at all, like specifically name wise. So
yeah, it's all the director, writer, and animator is different for everybody besides the ones that do studios.
Yeah, I thought they were all studios. I didn't even realize the first episode was a specific guy.
Yeah,
interesting.
Like that's what I was saying when I like saw it. I was like, oh, this guy must be, old school.
Yeah. So basically, this is just like one of those really old school, like Japanese, like stories of a traveling Ronin who shows up at a village being wrong. Think Seven Samurai. Like, it's one of those with, some really interesting droid rice cookers.
Hold up now. Wait a second. Kamikaze Doga, I don't know how to say it. Is a studio.
Oh shit!
But on the wiki, I'm the episode list page I've been looking at. It doesn't have a hyperlink for that, so it didn't look like a studio.
Interesting. Yeah,
they actually do JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. They're huge.
Okay.
So,
well, I'm not a big fan of that, but
no, I'm not either. It's not my cup of tea. But
so, what did you think about this episode overall? I'm like a super weeb, so I liked how Japanese this one was. I thought that it had the most original use of force powers and lightsabers out of all the episodes, I think. But it also kind of just felt really like pointless too. Like, it's all just about this Sith ship landing and like demanding money from the villagers and like, oh, we can't pay. And then the wandering Jedi, I guess, comes to save them. And there's that like little fight on the river on that little piece of wood, which was very Japanese.
It was very Japanese. A lot of this anthology was very, very Japanese.
Yeah.
I was telling our brother when I was watching almost every episode, like I think it was like by the 5th episode or something like that, I was just like, God, the Japanese just can't help but be Japanese. Like it's so, it's like in everything they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Not much really to talk about other than what we said. This really, like, these episodes are really shallow story wise, and this one is very bare bones compared to the other ones, I think. Still one of the better episodes, in my opinion. What do you think?
I think it's in the top. I'm just going with reveals for names here. I think it goes. It's the Ninth Jedi, Margrave. Yeah, Margaret. So number 5, I think, is the best. And then number 7, I think, which is the one. Is this the one with the Padawan? Yeah. So number 7 is the Elder, which I would put at number 2, and then I would probably put the Duel at number 3.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said 3, 7, and 1. That's your top 3. We have
5, 7, and 1.
5, 7, and 1. Okay, interesting. Mine is a little different, but I'd probably put the Duel around number 3 for me as well. So we're on the same page there. So the only like weird thing about this one is the way it ended. When he gave the Sith Kyber crystal to the villager and said it wards off evil, and then that's the end of the thing. What did you think about that? Like, what the fuck was he trying to say by saying that? Because that was just so random. Like, here's a Kyber crystal, it wards evil. The end. Like, what do you think they're going for with that?
I mean, me personally, I thought it was just like a little nod at the end that the hero is the villain type of thing. You know?
Okay,
like
interesting.
He's putting that he slayed a little bit of evil to put the seed of a lot of evil in an area, you know.
Interesting.
So I don't know, something like that. That's where my mind went. But to be honest, now you asked me the question, I'm trying to think of what this writer could have been thinking, some heady shit or something like that. And maybe because it's like been taken from a Jedi or something, it's an evil ward somehow because it's been taken by a pure Jedi. I don't know. Yeah. Kyber crystals are weird like that, you know. They do get tainted and stuff like that. They do absorb or they change based on the presence of force wielders. So, I mean, that could be where they're trying to go with that.
All right. Yeah, I wasn't really sure, honestly. That part made me scratch my head when that one episode ended. I was just like, wait, what?
I rewatched it because Stormy was like, no, he said it warded off evil. And I was like, no, he did. What?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird one. I like the Sith from this episode, too. I thought, like, there's a bunch of these episodes that have Sith in it. I think this is one of the cooler Sith of all of them.
Oh, the leader of the Ronin.
Yeah. But yeah, let's move on to episode 2, Tatooine Rhapsody, which I think is probably the weirdest episode in the entire batch. What do you think?
Well, it's hot garbage. It's the first one of many. And, well, let's just say this reminded... You guys remember... Let's go way, way back. Back to 1999, 2000 era.
Cowboy Bebop?
Game called Final... No, yeah. Final Fantasy X also launched. And, well, it was amazing. It was good. All of it. In its entirety. It was a game.
It was a game.
Then several years later, 2 to 3 to be precise, I think, X2 came out. It's the first sequel ever.
Watch yourself.
Ever for Final Fantasy. It started us on a darker timeline, I will say. This game, this fucking episode feels like X2.
I mean, I can totally see where you're going with that. It definitely. I think. Wait a second. Isn't the ending of X2 kind of like the ending of this? I think it is. Don't they end up doing a concert to save their lives? I feel like that happened.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, fuck.
And then they're like, and then the fat, I forget the Guy. I think it's is Guy. Yeah, a hunt named Guy. Fucking, he's just like, oh wow, you guys are so good. I'm gonna let you guys be a real band. Yeah. So, fucking way. Who wrote that episode? Let's see here. Yasumi Atara. Yeah, well, that's a female for sure. If it's not, well,
you're canceled.
We're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. This one felt weird to me from the get-go. It has a lot of moving parts and a lot of stuff happens. It's kind of the opposite of the first episode, where the first episode's very basic, not a lot happens. It sort of just is what it is for a few minutes. Tatooine Rhapsody goes through like 4 different phases, and it's like a 12-minute episode. I think this is one of the short ones, I believe. It's like 12 minutes long. And it just starts out with this random Padawan. I'm assuming after Order 66 happens, he escapes. Maybe it's that kid who escaped from Bad Batch. Maybe it's him. I don't know. But he shows up and like just some like weird alien is like hovering over him. And he's like, you know, like on the ground hallucinating, like, save me, weird alien guy. And the dude instead says, let's start a rock band. And so this Padawan that escaped Order 66 just casually starts a pop rock band with a group of ragtag aliens. And it's just bizarre. Like, it's a weird premise, and then it kind of jumps a couple years to like they're an established band, and Boba Fett hunts them down on one of their shows. And one thing I want to point out is this episode, did you watch these all in Japanese? I'm assuming you did. Or did you watch the dubs?
Watch the dubs.
Okay, all right.
I watched them with Stormy.
I watched all these in Japanese, but I didn't note who was in the English dubs because I found it really interesting that the English dubs have big name actors in them. The original Boba Fett does Boba Fett in this episode, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays the Padawan. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I did, yeah.
And
I remember I had to have it pointed out to me, but yeah.
Yeah, there's in a bunch of these episodes have famous English actors, and it's a little interesting. It makes me think they're very cognizant of the fact they know dubs have a horrible reputation. They're like, well, if we throw big names at it, you know, it'll escape the curse of the dub.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, they got the actual Boba Fett actor to be Boba Fett. Temura, I think his name is. I think they got Neil Patrick Harris for an episode or some shit.
Yeah, he was in the next one that we're going to talk about, which is actually my favorite of all of them. But getting back to Tatooine Rhapsody, so Boba Fett captures these fucking guys and takes them to Boba Fett's palace on Tatooine, and it becomes, like we were talking about, a ripoff of X2. It fucking becomes you have to do a concert to save your life, and they rock the socks off of the whole crowd, and then it warms the heart of warms the heart of fucking Jabba the Hutt.
Do we need to talk about this episode anymore?
And he's like, he gives him like the thumbs up, like fucking our boy Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator. Kind of the opposite of our boy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he gives him like the Gladiator thumbs up, and they get to live, and that's the end. Like, it is one of the most bizarre, like, fever dream like episodes in all of this batch, which I'm assuming is the only batch. What do you think? You think we're gonna get a sequel batch to this?
No,
I don't either. I think this is
I think this was feelers so they could steal ideas from better writers and directors.
Yeah.
That's honestly, that's what I think this was. It was a honeypot for a lot of people. Like, hey, you want to do some Star Wars stuff? And then they constrained them to 10, 15-minute episodes, so they couldn't go anywhere with any of the ideas, but they could sure cherry pick whatever they wanted from it.
Yeah, definitely. What I was hoping, and I think this would have been the cool thing to do if Disney had like some foresight, is they should have made it a contest. They should have been like, all right, we're releasing these episodes. You all get to vote on what the best one is. And then at the end of like, say, a year of voting, give it a long time to vote, the winner gets a full anime run, like a full series. That would have been cool to
dope.
do. But,
That'd be dope, because the Ninth Jedi deserved it.
Yeah, the Ninth Jedi was a good one. Yeah, all right, let's move on. Tatooine Rhapsody was a fucking a thud. It's my second least favorite. There's one episode I hate more than this, but we'll get to it eventually. Now we get to talk about the one that I like the most, the twins. This is the Kill la Kill / Gurren Lagann episode made by the creator of those two animes. And you can tell immediately in the art style. Like, he didn't try and change anything. Like, it's literally Gurren Lagann with Sith. Few things I liked about this specifically. First of all, the use of Star Destroyers. Twin Star Destroyers. I fucking loved that. There was a lot of focus in this on lightsabers and not enough on the space and the space fights, the ship fights. This was like one of the only ones where we had something cool, like sort of like the first moment you see the Death Star in the original Star Wars. You get kind of a moment like that in this episode where they have this super weapon they're creating with their two Sith Lords conjoined in these two Star Destroyers to create like this Yamato cannon like beam weapon.
The whole episode just screamed Big Hollywood Sunglasses. I was just like, man, I know exactly who did this episode.
Mm-hmm.
The lightsabers are big and long. Star Destroyers, double the energy, double the size. We have twins, two powerful twins. Not one Sith, but two Siths.
Yeah. And I really liked the girl, the one that stays dark. So like basically they're both Sith, but then one of them decides to go Jedi. They don't really explain why too well, but one of them just decides, hey, I don't like being a Sith. I'm going to try and sabotage this shit. And
he has like premonition, right? And he like sees her dying.
Yeah, that his sister is going to die. And yeah, that's what we find out at the end. But the premonition's kind of like a weird one because it's like Sith don't care about shit like that. So like it kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense in Star Wars lore that this would happen. But, you know, whatever.
They're synthetic, right?
Yeah.
Some things happen.
So Anne, she gets the General Grievous style 6 lightsabers. That was really sick. I like that part.
That was weird.
You didn't like it?
I mean,
it was weird, but I mean,
so was Gurren Lagann. It was wild.
It was. I loved it.
There was a lot of ideas that didn't deserve to get squeezed into 15 minutes in that episode. Actually, that was a shorter one, wasn't it? Was it only like 9 minutes? I felt really rushed.
No, that one was like 15 minutes, I think.
Okay.
It was in the middle of the pack. It wasn't the longest or the shortest.
Yeah.
But, it was too short. For how good it was, I think it was too short. You could have gone a little bit deeper into it. Essentially, it just boils down to like, today's the day, betrayal, confrontation, the end. Like, it's very, very fast and loose, but I liked it. I liked the whole vibe of it. I liked the fact that it took place in space and not on a planet. I liked, like I already said, the Star Destroyers. I liked the fact that you have two biological twins sensitive in the Force fighting each other, and it's for each other. That whole thing was pretty cool. But the ending was kind of weird. The crystal splitting in half and like the X-Wing.
Yeah,
like he crashes, and then the weirdest part is that he crashes the boy like after they fight, and he destroys his sister's crystal and the weapon and all that, and then he crash lands on Tatooine, and then he's like, "I vow to rescue my sister from the dark side" or whatever. It's like, I don't know. The ending was a little weird. I wish they kind of went more for the throat on the ending. like maybe some sinister shit happens instead of just like I did it, I escaped, now the end, I'm on this planet, and I don't know.
Hey, man. DuckTales.
So it sounds like you're not as big a fan of this episode. Where do you put it on your list?
Nah. I think it's in the mid tier. It's not trash. It's not the god tier. It's good.
Interesting.
Just didn't really make a lot of sense to me. I'm not really into like how corny it was. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Kill la Kill and stuff like that. I like Gurren Lagann a lot. Kill la Kill was never really my cup of tea, nor Fooly Cooly, but they're great animes. Isn't that the same guy, right? Fooly Cooly?
Yeah.
Kill la Kill? Yeah, all of it's the same. But I don't know. It definitely had promise. That's what I'll say. Like, it's one of those episodes where I was like, this deserved more. You know, where a lot of these episodes didn't deserve any fucking time at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the part that I really don't like is just the way that he used the fucking holdo technique to end things. Like, he basically did the hyperspace into the weapon trick.
I'm pretty sure they traced the frame from the what was it? The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they just took a fucking pencil drawing of that.
Yeah. I didn't like that shit. Yeah. I don't know. The more I talk about it, actually, the less I like it, but it's still my favorite of the episodes. I think it just downgrades the whole series for me as a whole after talking about it. I really liked it.
I'm glad I could bring that type of perspective.
But like now that I'm really going over the last 3 minutes, the way it ends, there's a kind of some there. But all right, I don't think there were any super famous actors in this one.
Neil Patrick Harris. He was the English actor, male actor.
Oh yeah, and fucking goddamn, and the girl is fucking Captain Marvel or whatever, right?
No, they actually have a Japanese woman as
Oh no, it's the
Car.
chick. It's actually the chick from Community, the hot brunette from Community.
Oh,
she has a similar name to Captain Marvel. That's why I was confusing them. All right. Episode 4, The Village Bride. I'm going to let you start on this one, Broadcaster Nickels. What did you think about The Village Bride?
This one is animated. This is where the series, the anthology, started to go in a good direction animation-wise. I was just like, all right, now we're getting some high budget here, and it looks interesting. Get into a different world, some explorers. The female Jedi looked pretty cool. Kind of a little emo with the dialogue. She kind of seemed like a herd angel, like she wanted to take off her mask and stuff like that. This was just one of those episodes where I loved everything visually about it and hated almost everything storyline about it. They were super esoteric and nebulous about everything. You never got a reason why Sensei Man wore a fucking basket thing over his head. What were they searching for out in the forest and stuff? Why were they initially on the planet? Like, all this stuff, it's all just like, there was a purpose. And, she went through her, what was her name? I forget her name. Was it Valko? Valko's the guy. And let's see, Asu? Was that her name? Anyways.
Yeah.
The female Jedi with the mask. It was just like a spirit journey for her in the end. And they never really explain what exactly the Sith or the Empire's doing with what the fuck was happening in the beginning of that episode? There's like a marriage pact or something. And then the ground fell out before him, and they were like, it was like supposed to be a sign or some shit, and they were like observing it. Like none of the episode, none of it made sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to describe it, and more I do, I realize that there was no connections. This is an autistic chart. This is what this episode was. It was an autistic chart.
Yeah, this is my least favorite episode of the batch. The animation was okay. I wasn't like really a fan of it or disliked it.
Really?
I was really kind of like right in the middle on the animation. The story was so fucking bad. The way it started, like you just mentioned, was stupid and pointless, and I think it's some Japanese culture shit that we're not getting. I'll give it that. That's probably what it is, but that whole beginning sequence is totally disjointed and pointless in terms of the story as far as I can tell. And then like the real story is essentially just like bandit raiders, like, which is a very typical Japanese thing in a lot of stories, the whole bandit raiders in the woods thing, very common. But this time they have B1 and B2 droids. Cool. And they're using them as like their own little army. And then it becomes like, well, we're going to surrender, and then the sister doesn't want to surrender and wants to fight, and then like they attempt to execute one, and then like I don't know, the fucking Jedi person intervenes, and the Jedi like, why are you even there? This like, what's happening right now?
Her reveal was so like milked. Like she's like, I have to intervene, and like she fights him and gets the mask falls off, and she's just like, it's like a strong woman moment.
Yeah,
it's so lame, dude. None of it felt impactful at all.
This one truly felt like the person doesn't like Star Wars. Like, this is one of the only ones where I feel like the creator actually is not a Star Wars fan, and they're just doing it because it was an opportunity. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They know nothing about Star Wars.
The only Star Wars aspect feels so tacked on. Like, it's just like you just hand some kid some random Halloween mask to put on. They don't know anything about it, but they have it on. That's kind of what this episode felt like.
Dude. I just realized that I'm pretty sure Valko's the male guy that was following around the Jedi, right?
Yeah.
That's
I think F is the Jedi, right? Yeah.
Is that what it
What a great name, by the way, F. Fucking F me for watching this.
Damn, well, I'll tell you right now, the English voice actor is hot as fuck.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'll tell you that right now. Anyways, fucking our boy fucking Shang Tsung, dude.
Yep.
Wait. Carrie
Hiroyuki Tagawa. Yeah.
That guy.
Yep. He plays the tag along. He can't save this.
You can't save It's a shame this is what he was. This is the episode he was in.
This episode was really, really, really bad. The only reason I think Tatooine Rhapsody is a little bit better is because at least Tatooine Rhapsody had a coherent, although stupid as fuck storyline, but it was coherent and it had like a beginning and an end. Like, this one was just like stupid. It was just stupid. Nothing really happened. It is a total blip on the radar. But now we can get to your favorite, right? Episode 5, The Ninth Jedi. Is this your favorite?
This is my favorite.
All right, so explain to us, why is this the winner of the theoretical contest that does not actually happen in real life?
Because it actually has a coherent story. For
check.
Animation, great.
Yes.
Villainy, top notch.
Villainy, top notch. I really loved the moment. I already knew. I thought that they were all Sith. I didn't realize that there was going to be one or two that ended up really being Jedi. But like when it happens and they did the reveal that they were Sith, I love that part a lot. Even though I saw it coming, I still was just like, yeah.
Yeah, dude, when the little girl comes in and she drops off all the lightsabers and they're like, So have you personally seen Margrave?
Yeah.
And fucking Margrave he just comes out of the droid, just like, haha, bitches. You never thought I was the droid, did you?
It's a real Dave Chappelle move.
The droid itself was super cool too. I loved the waiting game
Yeah.
between the droid and the evil Jedi, or the Sith in disguise, I should say. Him just circling them and like playing mind games with them. The voice actor for the droid too was dope.
Hell yeah.
He reminded me of like the guy that played Bishop in Aliens.
Yeah. Well, you heard the Japanese voice for the droid was really good too.
In fact, I'm pretty sure the guy that did the droid was the dude that did Hayden in Doom. It sounded just like him, dude.
Interesting.
I gotta look that up. Let me see here. Am I right about that?
Well, this one has the most, I think, story of all of them. I think just in terms of pure like plot and like what's actually happening in it's a lot compared to most of them. And I think it's actually the longest episode too. Correct me if I'm wrong if you know otherwise, but I think the Ninth Jedi is the longest of all the episodes.
It felt like it.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
I think it was like 25 minutes.
I think it was also cool. I think it had the coolest Japanese tradition injected into it, like the idea of like a
The
swordsmith.
blacksmith, yeah,
and that
totally.
These hilts were forged in like one of a kind, and they did all the traditions that a Japanese swordsmith would do with katanas, and and how they'd have like just that wall of all their one of a kind swords sitting there and stuff. Like, it was just cool. I liked it. I'm really into those aesthetics, so maybe that's why I like the episode so much. But it felt kind of like
it incorporated
almost like Seven Samurai-ish, like very cool.
Well, I think half the episodes tried to incorporate Seven Samurai.
For sure, no doubt.
I think that this did the best job incorporating, because every one of these basically incorporates Jedi and Sith. I think this one and lightsabers. This one incorporates those the best out of all of them. From the blacksmith to the way the daughter picks one up and it turns black and she has a dark saber and he's like, you need to work on your power a little bit first, girl. Keeping it away from her because he knows that she's like a secret badass and the dark saber only goes to like the chosen ones. And the way that they incorporated the kyber crystal changing depending on the wielder, it's a lot more on the nose than actual Star Wars, but I liked it. It's very an anime thing to do to the concept of kyber crystals, to make it just like you touch the hilt and it just turns the color that's meant for your soul or whatever. I like that.
Yeah, it's one of the very few Star Wars IPs out there that touches on the kyber, like how kyber crystals work.
Yeah.
Usually it's just talked about, like it's in books or it's back lore, or it's in like some type of fan, collection of information or something like that. But
yeah. We end up getting to where she escapes with that droid with an attitude. That's another good thing about this episode, when she's trying to escape with the lightsabers up to the palace in the sky to give the lightsabers to the Jedi. It's just like some robot who's on break. He's like, someone else. Yeah. I'm on break, bitch. I love that. That was very Japanese in a good way. The battle itself, when all the Sith reveal themselves and it becomes like this battle royale, I think that they kind of shortchanged that a bit. I think they could have added like 3 more minutes to that fight. It felt really fast for the amount of stuff going on in it. Like there was like 12 people involved and like it lasted like 40 seconds, it felt like.
Yeah, people got taken out in between cuts.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, that's if your criticism is that we wanted more, that's usually a good kind of criticism. So,
oh, no doubt. I mean, everything. I don't think there was really a bad part to that episode. There's nothing really bad about it.
No, and now that we've talked through it, I actually think I agree with you. Ninth Jedi is better than the twins, but not by much. But I think that, like you said, there's nothing really wrong, and there's a couple things wrong with the twins. So I kind of think I have to give the nod to the Ninth Jedi now as well. It is kind of the only perfect. And it's long too. It's not like, oh, it's perfect, but it was only 10 minutes long. I think this is the longest one. So yeah, it's not too bad. This would have been a cool one to see fleshed out over a full season. But
honestly, if they're gonna run with anything, it should be the Ninth Jedi. It really should be.
All right. Well, next up is T0B1. This is the Mega Man episode, is the way I looked at it. You have like a Dr. Light looking motherfucker who's making these robots to try and like terraform a planet, and you got like Mega Man who wants to be a Jedi, and he like, you know, idolizes the Jedi, and like Professor Light is like, no, Mega Man, you're gonna fucking make some rivers on this planet, fuck you. And you know, the Sith come because he finds some old ship, which is Dr. Light's ship, activates it, and the Sith come because, oh, Professor Light is a former Jedi, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I love you, I didn't know you were a Jedi, and then, you know, he immediately sacrifices himself for Mega Man, and then Mega Man becomes a Jedi, and that's basically the story here. What do you think?
He's a real boy.
He's a real boy. What'd you think about this one? Is this mid-tier for you as well? Where do you put it?
I think it honestly, it threw me, it put me back. It reminded me of Astro Boy and shit like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So it was cool. It reminded me like back when like Japanese animation looked a lot like American animation still, you know, before like the days before like what we think of anime was born.
Yeah, definitely.
It's cool. I wasn't really impressed by it by any means. I like the idea that what's his name? TO1 or whatever. TOB1.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool that I saw it coming from a mile away, but he was powered by a kyber crystal.
Mm-hmm.
A big theme in this anthology.
Yes. A lot of kyber crystals.
But concept-wise, cool. Execution, kind of boring as fuck. Not gonna lie. Yeah,
and again, it has a boring ending.
A very boring ending.
Yeah.
Just I'm just gonna do what Dad did.
Yep. And then
what?
Yeah.
You're a cutting the edge, state of the art badass Jedi, dude. Go fucking murder the Sith Empire.
Yeah. This one is definitely mid tier to me. The best part was like the first half, and I think the second half was a drag to me. Not bad though. I mean, it's definitely way better than the Village Bride and Tatooine Rhapsody. And, I think another one that we're about to get to.
Some will be named.
Broadcaster Nickels. This is a weird one. The Elder, episode 7. This is the one that felt very, very Star Warsy. Like, it felt like whoever made it is a Star Wars fan. Like, the way that they portrayed the Jedi and his apprentice was very much the way they portrayed Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi in the prequels. You know what I mean?
For sure. Definitely.
So, like, they were channeling that energy for sure. You know, they go... You know, he has a premonition of the Force. They stop this planet. They go to the planet. They realize, like, one of the final Sith is on this planet, and they hunt him down. The final Sith ends up being, like, this 90-year-old man, which I like that part of it. I think it's my favorite part of this episode is the Sith himself. Like, he's just, like, this really ornery 90-year-old man who can barely walk, but he's doing Sith powers and shit and fighting the Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And, I just didn't like some of the writing decisions. Made no sense. Like, why is the Padawan going up to face the Sith instead of like the Jedi Master? And he's just chilling at home base. Like, what?
It's funny we were talking about that. I was like, this guy's super chill. Like, he's super chill. He's like one of those free range kids' parents, you know? Like, it's whatever they want. He's like, yeah, well, the bad guy could meet you up there at the summit. He's like, yeah, whatever. He's like, okay, well. See you later. Dies. Or doesn't die. Almost dies.
Yeah. So the fight itself when the master comes up to avenge his Padawan, who ends up still being alive. It's very, very Darth Maul-y. Like, you could tell this was definitely inspired by that interaction between Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul, all the way to the way the Padawan ends up thinking he's dead, but like throws a lightsaber at him to finish him. The whole thing felt very tribute-y. This felt kind of like a tribute episode more than a this is my idea episode.
Yeah. Dude, the Sith was dope. And he was voiced in the American, in the dub version, he was voiced by James Hong. I don't know. That's Lo Pan from Big Trouble in Little China.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. Oh, I kind of wish I watched the dub now. There's some real hitters in this dub, man.
Oh, for sure.
That guy is awesome.
Unfortunately, though, Tajin, the master, was voiced by David Harbour in this episode.
Oh, God.
Our favorite comrade.
That's a thud.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine him ever playing a Jedi. He's too much of a meathead. All right, so what do you think, Elder, overall? Is this one of your favorites? Where does it sit?
I think it had the best fighting. I think it had the best fight scene out of all the episodes. Especially the finisher, where he turned off the lightsaber to pass through his, and then he like went lower, crouched, and turned it back on. That was so samurai-esque, dude. That was dope.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I felt some David Carradine in spirit in this episode.
No doubt, dude. No doubt. Yeah. The one thing that was weird, and this only just dawned on me now that I have the wiki page in front of me and I'm looking at the voice actors. Dan, the Padawan, his English voice actor is him. Jordan Fisher, the English actor for Dan, looks just like the character. They drew him into the anime. It's creepy.
Oh, that's weird. Usually they do that for celebrities, but not for no names. That's interesting.
Yeah.
He must have had some sort of weird relationship with the studio. Yeah, I think I agree with you, actually. The fight is probably the best Jedi fight in the show. I think I agree with you there. I do like the one in the Ninth Jedi and the twins, and also the one in the duel, the first episode, a lot too. But
what about the duel? What did you say?
The Sith versus Jedi lightsaber battle. I thought that was pretty good too. Yeah. I think the worst one actually was in TOB1, the one we just talked about, that with him and the Mega Man and the Inquisitor. I thought that was pretty thuddy.
Yeah, that was weak.
But all right, episode 8, Lop and Ocho. This is one of the weirder ones. It's kind of I'm gonna say a little bit more esoteric than a lot of them. What do you think about this one, Lop and Ocho?
I think it was garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely up there with Tatooine Rhapsody for me.
Really? I didn't think it was that bad, but
it's not as bad.
It wasn't great.
But it's just one of those episodes where if there wasn't certain items around, you'd just be like, am I fucking watching a Star Wars story right now? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, the rabbit alien species that Lop is.
They were trying to... what's that Peter Jackson movie? Blue Aliens? Avatar? Is that Peter Jackson?
No, that's
that?
James Cameron.
James Cameron. They're trying to do the resources being stolen from the bunny people's planet, type of shit. I get it, but...
Yeah.
The Empire's reach is vast, and we've seen this story play out 1 billion times. Who gives a fuck about that?
Yeah. I don't know why they wasted time with the first 5 minutes of when they show them meet. That seemed totally pointless. You could have just started after they grew up and no one would have said, "Hey, I really wish I knew how these fucking people met." No one would have fucking cared.
Oh, are you talking about when Lop's being adopted or whatever?
Yeah, the first quarter of the episode is in the past, and it's just pointless as fuck. And the episode doesn't really begin until they go to the time skip about 5 minutes in or whatever. Yeah. And then we have the whole the daughter has betrayed the father and joined the Empire, and this whole really tropey kind of storyline. It felt very tropey to me.
Saw it coming from a mile away, but
Yeah. And then like the dad giving Ocho the fucking lightsaber instead of his daughter, and then like, family isn't just blood. I was getting some real Vin Diesel vibes there. It's about family.
Ohana means family.
Yeah. I don't understand why the bunny was force sensitive, but oh well. I guess she just is, and it was all destiny. The ending's a thud. The bunny fights the daughter, injures her, and then she just runs away, and then that's the end.
Yeah.
Like,
vows. I will return home. Who cares?
I don't know. Like this episode, it wasn't bad, but it was weird to me. Like, it just, like, when I watched it, I felt like I was on drugs. Like, what is this?
Okay. I had to check out the studio that made this episode. Don't worry. They've made nothing of worth.
No doubt. Like, you could tell what they were going for, and it was to imitate other people that do that better. So you put that, is that like your bottom tier? Is
second to worst, yeah.
So,
well, wait a minute. Let's see here. Tattoo Rhapsody, Village Bride.
There's no way you put it lower than Village Bride.
It's 3 from the bottom.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I can go with you there. I might be 4 from the bottom, but I'm in the same territory too. Episode 9 is another weird one.
It had character though.
It did. It was trying to do something. It made a good effort. It felt very Japanese, like most of these do.
There's a lot of characters in this episode.
The thing that sticks out to me the most about this is like the villain is the dark side wielding ant, was she? And she looked like a transgender UFC fighter. It was very bizarre.
Well, you should see who voice acts her in the English dub.
Oh God, who is it? Oh no, who is it?
Oh, I don't think. Well, let me click on her let me see if she's actually done anything of note. I'm just saying.
Oh, I thought it was someone I would have heard of.
Oh, actually, she's been around. Shit.
Yeah.
Jesus. Anyways, no, she's a big ass black woman, and she like she kind of looks like God, what was that show? Real Housewives of Chicago or something. She looks like one of them.
Oh God. Yeah. Well, so like basically some Jedi like has a vision of his ex-girlfriend dying, and he like goes to visit her and finds out she's been overthrown by her aunt, who's a transgender UFC Sith. Very bizarre. The Jedi, I think he goes to fight her, and then she beats him, right? And then like the whole point, I guess the ending is that she forces her daughter to join her as a Sith apprentice to save the life of the Jedi, right?
Yeah.
And I think this was supposed to be like, you know how like they've been trying to push the dyad recently in Star Wars, like especially in the sequels with fucking Rey and Kylo, all that dyad of the Force talk that we saw in like the third movie, Rise of Skywalker or whatever.
Not really.
Well, there has been a push I've noticed in Star Wars recently talking about dyads in the Force, and they tried to do that in this too, where like they used the Jedi as the sacrifice for the dyad between the aunt and the daughter to create like super Sith or whatever. Like very kind of out there, weird storyline.
Sounds culty.
I I really didn't know what to make of this one. When I finished watching this one, I was just kind of baffled by it a little bit. It's like, what the fuck? Like, the whole point of it really is, it seems that the UFC transgender aunt sent the Vision to the Jedi to trick him into coming so that she could kill, or could capture him and then use him as blackmail to get the girl, the princess, to join her as a Padawan. Like, that's the whole story broken down, right?
But at the end, like, she just
walks off.
It's just all to resurrect Misa, and then that's it. That's the end. That's supposed to be it.
Yeah, like,
it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, it seemed like it was going somewhere else, and then it was just like, well.
Well, no, I feel like she wanted to recruit a Sith apprentice, and she's like, well, there's this Jedi out here. I guess I can trick him into being my apprentice, and that's the storyline. It's just weird, though, like, the way he just accepts it, and like, okay, resurrect her, and I'll go. And it's like, you could change your mind after, right? Like, it just felt weird. The whole thing felt kind of weird.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, when the whole story is building, it's like, okay, well, he's going to realize he's not a Sith at the end. He's going to be a Jedi, and he's going to fight her and stuff like that. And no.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. This one was all right, but
kind of, if you think about it, it was kind of like a more like depressing ending to the anthology.
Oh, yeah.
Like evil. It was like evil wins. Ha ha ha. Peace out.
I'm honestly surprised that this wasn't the first episode and the first episode wasn't the last. You'd think you'd flip those two and it would make more sense.
That's true, actually.
But it is. And now that you mention it, the end of this entire Star Wars Visions is basically a Jedi being cucked by a Sith into being her apprentice, and she's taken out on his ass too. Like, you can just see where that relationship's going, and it's not going to be happy for anyone involved. Well, Broadcaster Nickels, that is the series. So what do you think overall? What do you like? You like this shit? Does tickle your taste buds?
Probably forget it. 5 years. Did it ever happen? Because people like to waste money on these type of things.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was cool that it happened. They did it with Halo a long time ago. I forgot. It was like 2012 or something like that. They had like 8 episodes by a bunch of Japanese directors and writers and stuff, and they did an anthology series. And it was a bunch of different takes on different Spartans and stuff. It was cool. I liked it. I think I liked that more than I liked this, per se, just because there was a lot more quality episodes in that run.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see more of it. It'd be cool to see an anthology too, them to like...
I don't think I want more of this.
It'd be cool for them to like take this and run with it, though. Like the Ninth Jedi and the Elder, and I mean, fuck, even TOB1, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Those are universes that would actually be really cool if you expanded them.
Yeah.
Or stories if you expanded them. The Duel, of course, it's pretty cool, but it's kind of like a classic type of story. It's not something you can really go somewhere with. Yeah,
it's literally just like a very abbreviated Seven Samurai and pasting Star Wars stuff onto it. It is what it is, which is, it's fine, but I'm still shocked that they went with that for the first episode. Any specific thoughts about like the music? I was really disappointed with the music myself. Did you have any thoughts on it in general?
Oh, not really. I didn't really pay attention to it, which means probably it wasn't anything of note. I think the music in the Twins was all right.
Yeah, I agree with you. I was about to actually say that 2 episodes I thought had good music, and it was the Twins and the Elder.
I thought you were going to say Tatooine Rhapsody. I was going to kill you. Oh, yeah, the Elder did have really cool villain music.
Yeah,
I remember that. That was,
Yeah. But other than that, I thought the music was kind of a bore. I don't think I want any more of this. I would like I said with the whole like take the best one and turn it into a 26 episode season of anime. I would be down for that. But another season of anthology episodes, if they're going to be like this again, like this level of quality, I think that save yourself some time.
Yeah.
But
honestly, I want to refrain from saying don't do it because Ninth Jedi. I want to see a Ninth Jedi spinoff. Needs to happen. The executives, I know they're listening to this. Fucking make it happen.
Yeah, I would do a spinoff or I would do a full season of the Twins, the Ninth Jedi, TOB1, the Elder. But that's it. Those are the only ones where I would be interested. The other ones are just not worthy, in my opinion.
The garbage.
Yeah, and TOB1 is really stretching it too, I think. Like, it's barely...
It's the wild card pick. It got lucky.
Wild card. Wild card. Well, it sounds like you're pretty negative overall on this, kind of like I am. You'd be happy to know that we are in the minority. Rotten Tomatoes has this shit in 96%.
Of course they do. It's too diverse to say anything negative about it.
Yeah. Metacritic has a much more appropriate 79%, which that's kind of where I'm at with it, honestly. I think I'd put it in the 70%. Nothing special, not bad either. A couple bad episodes, but it's one of those neither here nor there type things. It's like, I'm a Star Wars fan. I should love this. And if I'm kind of meh on it, it makes me think that someone who isn't a fan of Star Wars would just find this atrocious, god-awful garbage, is what my guess is. But
7 out of 10 of them would agree.
Yeah. But here in the Crack Cellar, we don't use a 10 rating system. Oh no, we use the official patented Nick Cage rating system.
What's it coming in? What this just in new rating system? Kevin Spacey ranking system.
What? It's happening
this holiday season. Coming soon.
Broadcasters Nickels on the Nick Cage rating system. What do you rate Star Wars Visions?
A rock.
Ooh. Give it the rock.
It's a solid rock. It's there. It's large. There's a lot of money went into it. Not the greatest. Not the best. Far from the best.
I see.
It's not Con Air.
No. Would you say it might be a brittle rock?
Yeah, it's a pretty brittle rock.
Yeah.
In fact, it's probably just one of the rocks on the shore of the rock, the beach,
I am going to give this a Wicker Man. I might be being a little snobby. I love anime and I love Star Wars, so when I think about this, it should just be fucking so good. And it was a struggle for me to get through this. It literally took me 3 weeks to get through this because I just never got like can't wait to see the next episode. That never happened while I was watching this.
Never happened.
It wasn't horrible. It just wasn't that great. And there's only a couple episodes I legitimately liked, so I can't really give it more than a Wicker Man. And with that, we'll close out.
You didn't give it a Ghost Rider.
Nah, Ghost Rider is a special kind of bad, where it almost reaches back to being good again.